Are they?
Yeah.
How comes?
Not by this government.
Not by this government?
No.
And what about the risks?
Who are you?
My name's Jim Boobeh. That's my name. I am on all socials under that name or that pseudonym. I'm straight down the centre. I'm pretty apolitical. I'm pretty done with politics. I don't really agree with it. I think it's all a fallacy. And
So who are you interviewing for?
Me, no, YouTube.
Oh, for YouTube?
Yes,
right.
indeed. Right, so basically one question, I'm autistic as well, that's another thing, so I see things in a sort of binary way, it's either black or white, as you know, and I try to like suss it all out, but it takes a bit of comprehension and understanding and some time. So basically, the main question is, because there's a gentleman talking to me about my wife and kids and how I'd feel about if they was getting bombed and they needed to come to England or somewhere to be safe. My question is, when being asked that emotional question, is there any sort of risk or danger in allowing a lot of undocumented people that could have all sorts of criminal history, unvetted, and just allowing them blasé entrance?
I completely agree. If the government would provide a safe, legal system whereby people could safely arrive in this country, don't you think they'd use it? They don't. You only have to look at what's happened to the blue-eyed, blonde-haired Ukrainians to see that our system isn't fit for purpose.
You say that, but have you ever been to the Edgware Road?
Yeah.
Right. And you know what that's like?
Well,
it's full of Arabs. You know why it's like that? Because we went and invaded Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and all these other places. So to make the argument that we're not actually taking refugees and asylum seekers, that's not real. That's because we do, and there's parts of London that are inhabited by them. So that's not a real argument.
Well, I hope they are. I think it's the least level of reparation we could do to offer a home to people we've displaced through our invasion of their country.
So because
certainly in Afghanistan, certainly in Iraq, the war crimes that we have carried out all over the world mean the very least reparation.
Was that us, or was that Tony Blair and an elite of government officials that live so far removed from reality and to the real people like that stood here today? Like, that's not a real reflection on the people of the country. And how is it just or right for us to pay reparations, like you're suggesting?
Well,
fundamentally, the two wrongs make a right.
It's not, I don't think it is wrong. I think reparations should be made. Look, this world is a shrinking, tiny world, isn't it, with its resources at the moment because of what we've done environmentally to it. There's going to be droughts, there's going to be famines, there's going to be wars over oil. We've been part of that. There's going to be wars over resources. All the children, all the young people are in fear of their future all over the world, not just this country, this tiny little country. We've got to find a way to share the resources of the world with each other, because there will be, if we don't share these resources, then there will be more and more deprivation and more people dying.
Did you hear what the CEO of Nestle said about water being a human right?
I didn't, but of course
he says he thinks it shouldn't be a human right. My point I'm trying to get across is we are at war, and we're at war with these big multinational corporations and the governments.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we're not winning. It's not a cost of living crisis, it's a cost of greed crisis. That's what we're living through.
Well, no, we're paying for all the billions that they funneled whilst there was a pandemic.
Sure, and what we've got to do is to find, but where did that go? It's like they said when they're talking about the rail strike, we spent all this money on the rail industry, and you think, that sure as hell didn't go into workers' pockets. Have you seen the profits that all those private rail companies have made? Have you seen the profits that all the cronies of Johnson and his lot made over that crap equipment?
Exactly. That they give away, that they burn, and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
So we agree.
We do. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Cheers.